The spring of 2020 was a definite disruptor in the world of education, but it would be a mistake to think that we just needed to get through in order to get back to the way things always were. No, this is the time that we need to do something different. We have the opportunity to reinvent the classroom experience for learning anywhere, anytime. That's the title of my new book. And it's all about taking structures and strategies that work as well at home as they do in school, so that whether students are home, in school, moving back and forth, it doesn't matter. I call this 5, 5, 5, 5 to thrive. It's simple. First, you need to engage students. We call this the 5 P's of PBL. Problem-based, project-based, place-based, profession-based, and pursuit-based learning. So it's 5 P's of PBL. Next, we need to be much more deliberate about how we use video. First, there's the morning message, just a short 1 or 2 minute hi from the teacher. Inspire your students as to what's going to be happening today or during your class. So the second type of video is the instructional video, which is something that everyone is familiar with, and there are plenty of them out on the internet that you can use. But if you can design some of your own, you can really control the learning experience. You can present some information, and then you can ask students to pause the video, solve a particular problem or answer some questions, and restart the video when they're ready. And then you can be offering some commentary on that. So you can truly control that learning experience. If you're using videos that you find on the web, I recommend that you create a watch guide to go with them. So you might say, for instance, pause the video at 1 minute 12 seconds to answer these questions or to try to solve this problem, and then restart the video again. Now, the third type of video addresses the fact that if students are not physically with you and they don't understand how to complete a particular assignment or activity, create a directions video. A short video with directions for how to complete that graphic organizer, how to use a particular computer program. That's the directions video. And then there's the benchmark lesson video. Now, a benchmark is a point in time. So for instance, in the course of studying a unit, you may have certain concepts and skills that would be introduced up front, and then maybe a little bit later some others, and then a little bit later some others. So each one of those are benchmarks where you know at this point we're introducing this topic, at this point we're introducing that topic. So I suggest that you introduce those through a short video, again, 2 to 4 minutes, that inspires students as to why they need to learn this content, relate it to real-world events, connect it to other learning, get them excited about wanting to learn this, and then you can set them loose to potentially watch the instructional video or keep listening. We have some other ideas too. Finally, we have the insights video. You know, when you're teaching and you are facilitating with students, a student will bring up a question that makes you say, oh, everybody needs to know that. Create an insights video so that it gathers up all of the insights that you want to share that have come up over the course of working on this particular area of content. Okay, so we have 5 P's of PBL. We have 5 types of videos. Now let's look at 5 types of instructional activities. These are for independent learning, asynchronous learning. When I look at an activity list for students, I look for 5 different types of instructional activities. Learning activities, practice activities, application activities, assessment activities, and that's student self-assessment, and reflection activities. And then you have 5 types of synchronous engagement. Now imagine if students watch a benchmark lesson video to be introduced to some content, and then they engage in activities off of the activity list to learn a little bit more about it. Now you bring them together for a benchmark discussion, not too far along in, just as they are just getting started. So they come to the lesson with a little bit under their belt. I recommend dividing the class so that you aren't working with the entire class, maybe half of the class at a time engaging in a discussion. But the beauty of it is that students will have a little bit of confidence because they will have already looked into this content before you're engaging in this discussion. Now, you'll also want to facilitate learning, small groups, one-on-one, but you'll need to facilitate academics so that you may be providing some one-on-one instruction as needed or pushing some students to the next level if they are showing that they are demonstrating mastery. And then you'll also want to facilitate the process. So as students are selecting videos and learning activities and engaging in more independent work, someone needs to be teaching them how to make the best decisions. And that's what it means to facilitate the process, which is done through synchronous engagement with the student. Now, is there ever a time to just provide direct live instruction? Yes, it's called the small group mini lesson. Small because go for fewer than 7 students, so, up to 6 students maybe. It's short in time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops, and you're focusing on a very specific skill. And by doing that, you can provide small group mini lessons at different levels of understanding, which is more differentiated for your students. The last form of synchronous engagement is help. If a student puts their name on a digital help board, then you can synchronously engage with them and help them out. Well, I hope you enjoyed my 5, 5, 5, 5 to Thrive video, and that you'll join me on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for my new internet talk show, Learning Unwrapped. It's on ibmtv.tv. And if you do join me, please remember to bring something for the segment of What's in Your Mug?